Boom, boom. This is Ken, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. All right, we got a little bit of Azur Lane on top today. So let's go ahead and talk about this. Now, you got 2 days, people. 2 days to get in here and knock this out. The event's going to be ending on the 13th. So please get in there and pull on this and make sure that you get, there's the event right here, the inverted Orthant, which is an interesting name, needless to say. How often can you use Orthant in a sentence? Not very often. So we've got the inverted Orthant event, as I said, ending in 2 days. Now, as everybody was hoping out, Peter Strasser was going to be the beast for this event. Peter Strasser turned out to be a dud. Even though I've got her 3 times, that's right, ladies and gentlemen, I had to actually retire one of her because I kept getting her. I've already got her maxed out. She's already fully limit broke. But they keep sending. I keep getting her. I just got her yesterday, actually. So I'm going to do a build right here today, and let's see if we get her again. But this is my daily build here. So yeah, but I do have Heinrich, and I did get what is she, 37 here. We'll wait until these are finished, and we'll go back to that. I did actually get her yesterday as well too. So okay, excellent. I did not have Weser. That's good. Okay, so I got Weser. I did not have, which means the only one I missed is Nurnberg. I got U37 in the build here yesterday, so I do not need to spend $8,000 in the shop to get her. So that's why I say you want to focus on this build, simply because this is a really good. You want to get Heinrich. Okay, Heinrich is turning out to be the steal in this particular event. If you look at a lot of the videos, it's also. With Just 3C and a few others, it turns out that she's actually better. We were really hoping that Strasser was going to bring. She has an excellent skill set. Unfortunately, it's not a skill set that's useful simply because it's too low. The proc percentages are way down. Okay, if the proc percentages was at least it's not even 20%. So the chances of it proccing are just not viable. And then the other, it's just not, even if you fully max her, it's still not enough to overtake Heinrich. Heinrich's a tank, and that's what you're looking. Your Iron Blood fleet shields, and you've got shields with runes, and now you've got shields with Heinrich. It's going to make the Vanguard virtually indestructible. That's what you want to do. So Heinrich is the steal. So you definitely want to get her. I mean, Strasser, she's not bad. Especially if you're a new player, she might be something that you can use if you don't have very many Iron Blood ships, because you can go ahead and limit break her and get the fleet tech points for doing the limit break. So that'll get you closer to being able to start doing your priority ships, like your runes and your FDGs. So that, which are your super powerful characters. But so the only one I didn't get out of here is Nurnberg. I've still got 2 days. She's only an elite, so I'm not going to. She's a collector ship. That's the only reason I want to attain her. I'm not going to be using her for anything, but I'm not going to spend a bunch of cubes here. You don't want to go on cube binges anymore, because they're starting to offer UR characters inside of the builds on these events. They did it with Shinato, and what I'm hearing from the dev position is that's the way they're going to be introducing these characters. So you're not going to have to it's going to be, you can get them, you can build them. Okay, so you're going to need to have the cubes to do it. They have a pity function on it, and I think it's 250, I believe is what it is. If you've made 250 draws and didn't get her, you will get her on the 250 draw. Okay. So you want to make sure that you have enough cubes to do that, because once a build goes away, like these characters will not be offered in the regular build right now. These are limited time characters. They will eventually be put in the build, and you'll be able to get them that way. But it usually takes a while for the characters from the event to roll over into the standard build. So then you'll start seeing that they're pretty quick about it. But it takes a little while for the rollout to happen. So expect these characters to be put in the build, but it might be a couple of months before that actually happens. So if you don't get them now, you have to wait a little while. So that's why you want to do it. And this is a rate up, so they're rated up, and they are rated up. It's a rate up. You're not. There's nothing you could say about the rate up. It's not in some games. They rig it. This is not rigged. I can guarantee you that. I've got every single character here except for Nurnberg, and I got Strasser like twice, three. I got Strasser 3 or 4 times, and I got U37. So now that I have U37, I do not have to go into the shop munitions event. So I don't have to purchase her. I mean, I could if I wanted to, but I'm not going to unless I have some left over. I got a bunch of stuff I want to purchase via parts and blueprints, and I do like to every now and then snatch up a super rare cat box. So I'm going to do those first. If after I've done those, I have some left over, then yeah, I'll go ahead and pull U37. But in the meantime, I'm not going to. So let's go ahead and talk about the kits for some of the ships here. So Prince Heinrich, as I already showed you, is an excellent character. I'm in the process of working her up. She's still got a ways to go. So let's go ahead and take a look at U37. U37 is an interesting ship. She's a very, very good sub. There's not a whole, there's several subs in the game that are SR, but she increases this boat speed by 3 and reload for each Iron Blood in the same fleet. Okay, increases this boat's torpedo evasion accuracy by 1.5. So if you put her with other U subs, so she's a team sub. Okay. And then you've got increases this boat's oxygen by 2 and damage against light armor marines by 5 when this boat surfaces, fires a special torpedo based on its skill level. So she's pretty high damage in terms of what she can do. Once you get these skills maxed, she's going to be doing quite a bit. So she's definitely something you want to might consider in your U-boat fleet. She's not, the best sub in the game right now is U96. Okay, you should be flagging her. Okay, she's pretty much the best sub in the game. So you want to have her in any type of flagship, sub setup. You definitely want to make sure that she is in it because she's just an awesome sub, and she'll help out your team immensely. And U37 is and most people are considering her to be the second best sub in the game. So you want to have U96, U37, and then your third sub can be whatever you want to do. U81's a good option if you have her. 110, U110, U556, all those are pretty decent subs that you can put in. But you want to have you want to have another U-boat because U37's skill is better when you have other subs in the fleet, other U-boats in the fleet. So that's what you want to use for her. So she's a pretty good character in that term. So definitely something you want to get. And you get her in the shop if you do not build her, so don't fret. If you're playing the event like you should be, you should have 8,000. If you don't, get in there right now and hump out 8,000, and you'll be able to purchase her in the shop. All right, so go ahead and take a look at Weser. Now, Weser is not something that if you're a new player and you're building an Ironblood fleet, you might want to build her, but she's not something that I'm going to build simply because I have an excellent Ironblood fleet right now. So she's got a pretty good, nice look to her. When this ship launches an airstrike, 40% chance to launch an additional special airstrike based on the skill level. And at the start of the battle, if there are 3 or more Ironblood ships in the same fleet, it increases this ship's crit damage by 5. If there are no other Ironblood ships, instead increases this ship's reload by 1 and anti-air by 5. So one of the things that they like about this is the fact that she does have multiple places in different fleets. So you don't have to put her with an Ironblood fleet because if there's no other Ironblood ships, you can get a reloaded anti-air increase. So she is an excellent ship if you're just starting out, if you're trying to build a fleet. Okay, she's an excellent starter ship. But if you got a higher level fleet, there are other options that you have better. but she's not a bad ship at all. So definitely something that you want to look at if you're a new player. If you're trying to build some fleets, anything that you can do to get the actual things is nice. So let me go ahead and uncap her. Okay, so that's 2 on Weser. So the only one I miss is Nurnberg. So I got a couple days. I might get her. We'll have to see. So let's take a look at the events that are up. Now, as you can see, there's a lot of stuff going on here. If you're looking at the combat prep now, if you did go for the chat screen, I did not go for the chat screen simply because I don't have the mats to do it. But if you do look at the chat screen, if you were going for that, you needed to get these right here, these points by limit breaking all the ships. First you have to get them and then break them. But this is just for a chat screen. This is not, it can't be used for anything else. This is not a screen that you can use up here or anything like that for your your medallion, for your decorating, for your avatar. It's not. It's only usable in the chat. Okay, so if you wanted to use it in the chat, I've got my chat off right now because it's a little annoying having all the scrolls through. But that's all it's for. So it's nothing else in terms of usefulness. It's nothing you can put in your dorm or anything like that. It's basically just a sort of like a way to display the fact that you did the event. I mean, I did several of them and got the chat screen. So it's it's really, I don't really have the mats to do it. You need bullets to do it. When it comes right down to it, to limit break and enhance that, you need a lot of bullets. And I'm really focusing my bullets on the ships I'm going to need for Operation Siren. So I don't have any to spare to focus on that. But all you need to do is fully limit break the ships from the event build. Get all these ships, fully limit break them, and then run the event tabs, the event levels that it specifies in the mission to actually get it. And then you'll be able to get the points. And once you get enough points, you can get the chat screen. But you have to pretty much limit break all of them. And I just don't have bullets to do it. As you can see right now, my bullet situation is pretty low, and that's because I've got 4 prototype bullets, and these are the so I don't have enough to bring up all of the ships because these right here are going to be for Heinrich. I'll be using these for Heinrich to get her up fully maxed for my Ironblood fleet. Okay, so that's why I'm saving them right now, so I don't have any to spare for the event. So that's the way it goes. Fortunately, I got enough stressors, which I think I used 1 bullet on her when I first got her. But when I realized that no matter how much I leveled her up, she just wasn't going to meet this if I just stopped. I wasn't planning on using any more bullets, but then I started drawing her. I got like 3 more after that, so I just used those to enhance her. So if you get copies, you can use those as well as the bullets. But I haven't been getting a lot of copies except for Streiser. But yeah, so that's where it's at. So I'm not going to do the event on that, but if you're doing it, you got 2 more days. So you want to get in there and pump out this event as fast as you can. Okay, and remember to do, if you're coming up short, if you don't have 8,000, you can focus on each of the events. Each day, these will do a +3 for the first time. Okay, they won't do a +3 after the first time, but they will do a +3 afterwards. So +3 once a day. So you can do, work on clearing your next levels, but if you can go back and get all of these each day and get a +3 on your rewards for the Ironblood medallions that you need in the shop. Okay, so you could do at least do them once. You don't have to clear it completely. Just run the 4 or 5, and then when the boss comes, go straight to the boss and kill the boss, and you'll get a +3 or ×3 reward. Okay, so that's what you want to do on that. But after that, it goes back to normal, and it really not behooving to run these low levels anymore. Focus on the hires. You get much more on the hard. Okay, C and D are in the hard, and you get even more on the EXE. So that's where you want to be running if you're just going to straight farm. you only want to do these once, and that's just to get the ×3 drop. And that should get you to 8,000 fairly quickly. And then you'll be able to get U-37, which is your focus is, if you come out of this event, you want to make sure that you have U-37, Prince Heinrich, and Peter Strasser. Now, definitely want to try to get Peter Strasser, even though I'm not going to use her in a fleet, but she has an excellent skill set that if they fix it, if they buff it, which we're hoping they will, then she'll be a really good ship. Really good top tier ship. If they increase the proc rates, the proc rates on this are so low. There are other ships that have skill that don't, that's about the lowest proc rate of any type of skill set we've seen in the game. So we're really not exactly sure what they were thinking. I mean, yeah, it's a great skill set, but it's, you know, if it's not going to proc, it's useless. So, you know, and it's both of the skills. It's not just one of the skills. It's not like one skill's good and the other's bad. They're both bad. So it's just really not. It's really not something. You know, she needs to be buffed, and we're hoping. A lot of people are complaining about it. So if you know, hopefully we'll see it. But so do get her, okay, just so you have her. You don't have to level her up or anything unless you want to, because you need fleet tech points. But yeah, at least get her so that you have her. You can always just lead her, you know, let her set in the dock, and if they do decide to buff the skills, then we can level her up and use her. So that's the way I look at it. So I've got her, and like I said, I fully limit broke her simply because I got like 3 other copies of her, and you know, I have to keep my dock clean because that's where I spend all of my crystals go to one thing, and that's to expanding my dock. Okay, I've got 360 some ships. Okay. So my dock is full, you know, well, not 360 ships. I mean, some of the Bullens are in here. So, you know, probably have like 340 maybe ships. So it's actually, as you can see, my dock capacity is running out. So that's where I spend all of my crystals. I have never actually, you know, you know, occasionally I'll have to spend a few bucks and purchase a pack of crystals just so I can expand my dock. You know, that's the only thing that you use them for. Their main reason is in the outfits. I'm not going to spend too long in here because YouTube might not like this, but this is where people spend most of their crystals, is on the costumes. Costumes don't offer any buff to the character, but they just make the character look cool. So, but yeah, so that's it. So we got 2 more days for this event. So you want to get in there and knock that out. At least get 8,000 so you can get U-37. Remember, U-37, Prince Heinrich, and Peter Strasser are the 3 focus ships for this. Okay, you want to put Heinrich into fleet the minute you get her because she's a tank, and you want to put U-37 in your U-boat float, U-boat fleet, submarine fleet when you get her because she is an excellent. And try to pair her with U-96 if you can, and maybe U-81, U-110, U-556, whichever one you want. But 3 U-bloods, 3 U-boats in that, and make sure that, because that's going to be an excellent fleet. Submarine fleets are going to be coming. They're increasing them slowly, but they're going to be. When they first came out, they were really nothing. They were piddly. Now they're to the point where they're noticeable. So we're expecting them to take the next step where they're going to become actual useful. So don't neglect them. Okay, you don't got to spend a lot of time. But what I do is I stick them in the dorm. You know, run them in the 18,000 commission. You should be running this commission. Let me show you this commission. You should have this commission active at all times. Okay? You should have it active at all times because it's the only way, it's one of the best ways to get easy experience without having to worry about that. You should have this running at all times. Okay? I run this during the day with the ships I've got in there right now. Okay? So I've got Tahoe in there, U-96, FDG, Unicorn, Georgia, and Jeanne d'Arc. These are all ships that I'm working on specifically because they're going to be used inside of Operation Siren. Now, I do my stuff today, and I'll run my fleets. Now, at the end of the day, when this clears, because it takes 10 hours, before I shut down in the evening, I will remove Unicorn, Georgia, and Jeanne d'Arc, and I'll put Prince Heinrich in here. I'm going to put U-37 in here, and I'm going to put rune you in here. Okay, and then I'll start it and let it run overnight, and they'll get 18,000. So basically, it's a constant. Now, it takes 1,200 oil, so at times you'll get stuff with oil, but they usually give you oil. At the beginning of the event, they'll give you 3,000 oil. Plus, I don't do enough farming where it's a problem for me, but some people who spend a lot of time farming are going to, have a problem where they run out of oil. But the armor fleet that I'm using is extremely low cost in terms of what it actually uses, so it's not that bad. When you start putting your FDGs and stuff in the fleet, you're starting like 19 oil just to use her. So they're really expensive, but they're super powerful. So, but as you can see, I've almost got her to 120. I'm going to overthrow once I get her to 120. Yeah, so I've got the promise ring already waiting for her. But yeah, so that's where we're at. So that's what we got. 2 days. So get in there and knock that out. And make sure you get those 3 ships that I mentioned. Those are the ones that you're going for. So that's why I wanted to do the video. Let you know it's almost time. And try to get those 3. Definitely get 8,000 so you can purchase U-37 in the shop. And then I got Prince Heinrich and Peter Strasser pretty quick. Okay, so you should be able to get, if you're drawing it like 5 times, you only have to do 3 for your daily, but I was throwing in an extra 2 just to try to finish out the ships. So I'm going to continue with 5 to try to get Nurnberg, but if I don't, I'm not going to worry about it too much. In a few months, they'll probably put her in a regular build and they'll have her up, and I might pull on that. I'll get her eventually, just by fact that they generously give you ships, just cubes to do things. So I'll eventually get her. I've got pretty much most of all the ships. I mean, there's a few ships I don't have, but I pretty much got everything. So, but I'll get her eventually. But yeah, so they'll also have a rerun for the event where the builds will be up. So there are ways to get it like that as well. So remember to go ahead and subscribe. All right, and once you've subscribed, you'll see a bell. If you click on the bell, you get notified each time I drop the video. So this is Kenrick coming at you from the corner, signing out.